Hey guys, I'm Nate Walters here from Ace of Blades, and today I'm bringing you something extra special. I really like this build. I think it's probably one of my better constructed weapons. I really like it. This is my version of the Fallout Machete, the one made out of a lawnmower blade. You probably didn't really notice that in the game, but I'm kind of a stickler for detail, and I realized that, and I thought that was kind of cool. I wanted to make my own version of it. But before I get people commenting on this saying, hey, that's not the Fallout Machete, that one is a little different because it... Shut your mouth. The Fallout Machete really sucks. I'm sorry, but the creators of Fallout did a really bad job designing that weapon. I'm not sure if they have it in other Fallouts. The only one I've played is New Vegas. I really like the game, by the way. Regardless, the one in the game, it's made out of a lawnmower blade, and the side that you'd be hitting people with isn't even sharp. It's like the back side of the lawnmower blade. It's like me hitting you with like just a blunt piece of metal. I'm not a fan of that. And that's not even the biggest problem with that machete. The big one, the handle is literally a stick taped onto the lawnmower blade, I don't know, with some electrical tape or something, and that's just brutal. It's just terrible job designing, I think. So I upgraded it. If you guys were hoping for a game-accurate version, please don't be jumping up my butt about that. I like making things better, so that's what I did here. But yeah, anyways, I don't have any film of the beginning process, but it's pretty simple. I hope you can understand it. All I did, I found an old lawnmower blade. It was a rusty one laying out back behind the shop. I took it and I flattened it with a sledgehammer and an anvil. If you don't have an anvil, you're basically done. You can't do this weapon, I'm sorry. No, I'm just kidding. I don't have an anvil myself. I just got this solid chunk of metal. I took a sledgehammer and just beat it flat as good as I could. Obviously, it's not perfectly flat, not fat, but it's not perfectly flat, but I think it got close enough. The handle, it's a little lopsided, you see there, but it'll be alright. It's like for swinging and stuff. Anyways, let's get to the build. I think I've been talking too much already. What was that, 2 minutes? 2.5 minutes? I've been talking too much. Let's get to the build. Alright, so the very first thing you're going to need to do, if you have a rusty blade, is just remove all the rust off of it. I'm going to be using angle grinder with a sanding disc on it, and just remove all the rust and get it down to bare metal. You can take a look at it now. There's the handle I worked on for quite a while. That's all. This is all bench grinder work I've done. That's a lot of just putting an edge on it, because I'm not going to make a bevel for this. It's a machete, not a knife. So no bevel. I'm just kind of sharpening it up. And now I'm moved on to using a file. And I'm going to put a nice edge on it, and then after that, we're almost there, really. Pretty simple build so far. And since I really couldn't get all the rust off of it, I think I'm just going to end up painting it like a probably flat black. That way it's got a sweet look to it instead of this kind of crappy rust look. But yeah, I'm just going to cover it with some black paint. But I'll leave this, and then it's on to making the handle. Now that I've got it all filed and sharp, now I will be moving on to painting it. That way it looks decent, because right now it doesn't look that nice. But I'm just gonna paint it up so it looks pretty sweet, and then we're on to making a handle for it, and it'll be all done. Alright, so I'm just using Rust-Oleum flat black spray paint. Obviously you can use any color you want. I just like black because, you know, that's like your classic machete look. Anyways, just gonna coat the whole thing, both sides, and then I'll remove the paint that got onto the sharpened part, and that's it for painting it. See this piece of wood? This is gonna be the handle. I made a mark around it, that way I've just got plenty of extra room. I'm going to cut it out and then rip it right in half. That way I've got two equal sides. And then I'm going to glue them onto the handle. Okie dokie. Well, now that I've got my pieces of wood cut out, I'm going to glue it onto the handle. And to do that, I'm just going to rough this up with some very coarse sandpaper. I think it's 36 grit. And I'm also going to rough this up. That way the epoxy has something to grab onto when I clamp it down and glue them together. I'm just using some of my epoxy. I've shown you how to mix that up before, but in case you don't know, it's a two-part glue that you mix up. You mix them up together and you spread it onto here in the blade, and you'll sandwich the tang of the machete between both pieces of wood of the handle. And you're going to clamp it, and mine dries in 30 minutes. Depending on what you have, it may take longer. I've had epoxy that takes 24 hours to dry. I'm using the epoxy I have, which is 30 minutes for it to dry, and then I'll be able to get back to work. Well, as you take a look here, I've got the two pieces glued on there, and they're on there good. Now I will trim down the excess that I don't need on either side, and then it's on to rasping and sanding it on getting it to where it feels comfortable in my hand, because obviously right now that's just brutal. Doesn't feel comfortable. If you think that's comfortable, you probably live in Minecraft. Regardless, just going to trim down those pieces, and then it's on to rasping and sanding. Alright, what you see here is me rasping it. This takes quite a while, especially with I don't know what kind of wood this was I used, but it took a while to rasp. It wasn't real soft. But I am rasping it to where it feels comfortable in my hand, and it also goes right down to the tang. That way it's not like hanging out over the tang. That just looks bad. And every so often you see me cleaning the blade. Actually, it probably goes by too fast for you to actually see that. Oh, and also see, wear a glove. You get blisters. You're doing it a lot without a glove on. But every so often I clean off the parts that get stuck in the rasp with a wire brush, and that way I can keep rasping and it's still sharp, and I can just keep going through it. And yeah, I'm not sure if I already said this, but this is 12 times speed, and this took me about 30 minutes, but I got it all done, and it looks really nice now. So take the time and make it look nice. And after I was done rasping, it leaves some deep scratches, and I got all those out just using some sandpaper. I progressively went up from I think 130 to 160 to 200 grit, so I got a pretty smooth finish actually. But yeah, just a lot of rasping, get it down, make it look nice, and you'll be happy, because you just see a beautiful grain there. Looks good. Just do that and it'll look nice. Alright, well, I hope you like that build. It's honestly been one of my favorites. I really like this. It turned out great. I'm super happy with it. I actually went out and whacked some stuff with it right once I was done with it. But yeah, that's really it for this build. It's not terribly complicated, but I think it ended up pretty cool, and it'll be a pretty sweet weapon. Like I said on other things, but I've never done tests for. Well, I've done tests, just haven't put out videos for them yet. I will do a test on this, hopefully sometime soon, and I also will be doing a review and test on my friend's wakizashi. If you don't know what that is, look it up. I'm not going to talk about it. But it's really cool. I can't wait to do that. Yeah, that's... Oh, a couple things I want to say. Once again, huge thank you to my subscribers. You guys are awesome. I get nothing but positive feedback from you guys, and I love that. And I feel like kind of selfish asking more of you guys. But if you would, and this is kind of an experiment, and it also really helped me. I want to get to 2,000 subscribers, and I'll have a giveaway. And what I'll be giving away in just a second is this. This is my homemade dagger. I kind of made it like a modern dagger, even though that's not been done before. Not that I know anyway. It's kind of painted like a machete. You know, the only thing that's real silver on it is the sharp part and paracord wrapped handle, but it's pretty cool. One lucky person will be given this once I reach 2,000 subscribers. But anyways, to enter that contest, you must share the video with at least one person. Share it with one person and tell them to subscribe because this guy's making awesome weapons, or tell them to subscribe because it's this creepy guy making awesome weapons. Regardless, share this with someone, tell them to subscribe. Hopefully they will, and maybe I'll hit 2,000 subs, and one lucky person will get that dagger. Yeah, that's really it for announcements. Announcements, Jesus, what is this? I don't know. I sound so professional. You guys should be proud of me. Anyways, that's really it. Hope you guys enjoyed this build as much as I enjoyed building it. More projects in the future. Stay tuned to my channel, and I will keep bringing you awesome stuff. I'm Ace of Blades, and see you guys next time.